bitches yesterday. You're going to love me today. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to The Crease with Tommy C. And my crease today is none other than newsman and the Game 7 St. Louis Blues man, Jeff the Huffman. And none other than Chicago Dead on Dave. All right, I took a little shit for a statement that I made on social media. And again, Cardona sent me to the war room.
Uh-oh.
He loved that, by the way. When you said that, that was like your best line. He loves the fact that you said, he goes, he sent you to the war room, didn't he? On the last thing that I don't know. That's how short I have the memory of a fucking retarded gerbil. You know, I can't remember.
That's not a good memory.
No, it's terrible. Well, I had a gerbil once. All he did was
wheel,
run around.
wheel,
That's it.
food, wheel,
Yeah, I have
death.
no idea, like, what last time Cardona caught me on. But again, he's wrong, because I figured out a way to weasel my way around it. All right, there's a lot of heat on social media, not so much in the media. Alex Ovechkin made it right to the Worlds today, which is pretty incredible because that is a long flight from Pittsburgh to, and obviously it was planned just in case, the worst case scenario happened. I'm not here to tell you that it's a bad thing that he went to the Worlds, but I do believe that a regional and sports culture reality will play into the fact that I believe that Alex Ovechkin will never, ever win a Stanley Cup, and if he does, it will not be on the Capitals, and it certainly won't be with a C on it. I don't believe that, and I'm going to give you my rationale. I admit ahead of time, it's a lot of conjecture, and it's a lot of reading into things, and you can take it with a grain of salt. You can say, screw you. You can do whatever you want with it. This is just something I noticed and something I believe. Alex Ovechkin was raised by two Olympic Soviet athletes. I'm sure, like me, hearing stories about Mickey Mantle and Willie Mays and, other New York Yankees. Not that Willie Mays was a New York Yankee. Yes, I know that. Don't fucking jump on me, that hipsters. You develop dreams through the stories your father and your mother tell you about great athletes. For him, it probably would have been Russian athletes, and basically the greatest team sport Russia has ever been a part of, which would be hockey, or I should say, the most success they ever had. I believe that Alex Ovechkin does not hold the Stanley Cup, not because he's a bad person, not because he doesn't want it real bad. It's just where he was raised and who he was raised by. I don't think he holds the Stanley Cup in the highest regard as people from North America. Now, why would I come up with something like that? Well, he never misses a World. For a player of his caliber, that's very unusual, and I commend him for not putting his career on the line for his country. I don't think any less of him for that. But watching him play the last two games in the playoffs, where he's noticeably absent, watching him over the years in the playoffs, and this particular team this year was probably had the best chance to win the Stanley Cup.
The best team he's been on. Yeah.
The best team that he's been on. And he hasn't always been on good teams, and it hasn't always been his fault. But he's becoming a Rick Nash legend in every way. Now, I'll throw him another bone. I think they put the C on him too early. I think he's got Eric Lindros C too early-itis. Could say the same thing about Crosby, but Crosby has a cup. I don't think that he's motivated. I'm not saying he doesn't want to win. I'm not saying he doesn't. It's just, I do believe when you grow up, I grew up, my father was a New York Yankees fan, and that's all he talked about. So I wanted to play center field for the New York Yankees, and I thought I could do it at one stupid point in my life. Yeah, no. That's it.
Stupid dreams of a kid.
Yeah, that or shortstop.
Dumbass, grow up.
Yeah. Well, I went to high school with a guy that wanted to play shortstop for the New York Yankees, but that's another, and right as Derek Jeter was coming up, but that's another story altogether. I dreamed about winning the World Series, not the baseball classic. The baseball classic didn't exist.
No, it didn't
You
exist.
get what I'm saying?
It barely exists now, to be fair.
Yeah, fair. You get what I'm saying? He grew up on the gold. And I really wonder, with his seemingly lack of effort, and I honestly believed he was hurt. He's not hurt, or he's crazy. Because if he's hurt, he should not be going to the Worlds.
No. I think that eliminates that he's hurt. I don't think he's hurt.
Right.
Now, this is conjecture on my part. This is reading into things. But I really wonder, when there's such a thin line between winning the Stanley Cup and not winning the Stanley Cup, where every tiny edge can make the difference. I do think psychology and motivation come into that factor. I believe that. It takes, because there's so many things that got to bounce your way, and then when they do bounce your way, you have to take advantage of it, sometimes by accident.
Absolutely.
I believe that Alex Ovechkin, in some ways, doesn't hold the Stanley Cup in his high regard. It doesn't mean he doesn't want to win it. It's just he never dreamed of doing this. Now, this is also not an attack on Russian athletes. I'm not making that. I make individual attacks on Russian athletes. With the internet being the way it is, and the much more, like the NHL and sports in general are much broader. There's a lot of NFL fans here in Germany, believe it or not. We had the NFL Europe here when we first got here, Dave, if you remember.
Yes, we did. I went to the last World Bowl ever.
Yeah, I think that would have been...
Meatloaf was at halftime. He was amazing.
That's actually a pretty good show.
That's serious. It was awesome.
Baby, let me sip on it. I'll give you my answer in the morning. Come on right now. That'd be great. You know what? I actually got offered tickets for that same thing, and I didn't go.
Oh, you should have went. It was great.
I didn't know Meatloaf was there until now, though. If I could only tell my former self. Because I would have just laughed because it's Meatloaf.
He was good, man.
I know he is. He's super talented, whatever. And so's Alex Ovechkin. And I do believe that. Now, you're probably thinking, you're drinking, like Cardona said, you're drinking the Don Cherry Kool-Aid. No, because I don't think Ovechkin's a bad person. I don't think Europeans make the league worse. I don't believe they're all pussies. I think I attack people individually. And if you really want to call me a Crosby fanboy, that would be a little unusual because I've been hearing the last 4 years that I'm an Ovechkin fanboy. Can't win with ad hominem attacks by dopes that just want to hear, your team's good. Your team's good. Welcome to In the Crease with Tommy C. Your team's good. They're great. Your team's good. We're doing an NHL team, but your team's good.
That's an award-winning show right there.
Yeah, right there. A lot of goddamn
formula.
fun. I really do question his motivation because let me flip that. I know what you're going to say, but I'm not terribly sure what Huffman's going to say. Did he look motivated to you last night?
Who are you talking about?
Jeff. I mean, so just give me on. If I'm wrong about this, I want to hear it from you guys. So don't be scared to fucking call me out. Go ahead, Jeff.
I mean, when they were down 3-0, I mean, you saw him a couple times trying to make something happen by himself, but it seemed like he wasn't taking it to that above and beyond level.
And look, as Cardona properly pointed out, the problems with Ovi, he's his own worst enemy because we're all our own worst enemies at the end of the day. And that's probably has more to do with it than what I think. But I do wonder sometimes. He never misses a Worlds. First of all, if he did get eliminated, he had to go right away because I think Russia has a game tomorrow. That's commendable. Yes. But I tell you something, if I was a Caps fan, I'd be a little disappointed. There'd be something, you got out there that quick. Yes. You're getting paid. You wouldn't even be on that team. No one would even take you seriously if you weren't such a success in North America. Pittsburgh, boy, I'll take your calls. I take calls at the end of the show now. I know you didn't know that. But I'll definitely take calls. Definitely take calls. Dave,
what he looked like
am I
to
off
me?
Here? Dave, give it to me if I'm off. I'm okay with this.
No, you're not off.
I know it's
I'm gonna
thin.
expand upon.
Okay.
You know what he looked like to me? He didn't look hurt. He didn't look anything. He looked distracted.
Yeah,
that's what he looked like. Look, the reality is for him to get to Russia as fast as he did, that there's planning there. And yeah, he probably has guys for that, but there had to be a plan in place. If you're thinking about the potential of getting to Russia tomorrow in case you guys lose, which should not even be in a fucking champion's mind.
Exactly.
It shouldn't even be in your mindset. Then your mind is not where it's supposed to be. And that was game 6 last night in fucking Pittsburgh. It wasn't there.
Go ahead, Jeff.
It seemed like right when Isis Benino scored the game-winning goal, they cut to Ovechkin. He didn't really look that upset. I mean, it looked like he said "fuck" or something, but that was pretty much it.
He whiffed too, like really bad in that game on a shot that he Ovechkin from that distance.
Yeah, I know.
Ovechkin from that distance in the left hash. Yeah.
And he whiffed. His mind, that's concentration.
Let's
concentration.
Let's keep in mind. I mean, he had a bad game. I'm sure there's other factors that come into this.
Series.
Let's keep in mind that thinking the gold medal is better than the Stanley Cup is not make you a bad person. It doesn't make you any less of a hockey fan. It makes you born in a different country.
Yes,
that's it. That's all I'm saying. Debbie just said,
but
I'm
after
going for
10 years in the NHL, and where a team has invested into you heavily, when our fan base has invested into you heavily, it does make you a bad investment.
Yeah,
it may not make you a bad person,
and a risky investment too. God forbid he gets hurt. God forbid
he's coming up on his last chance for big money, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and this is probably the last super big money he's going to get because he's 30 now. And I look, like, in a world where it's so difficult to win this thing, where you need every edge you can, motivation has to be a key factor because everybody in this league is so freaking good. Yeah. There's not, I mean, look, you see the Crosbys and the Ovechkins and the Ginlas. I threw a Ginlin in there because I love him. Yes, they're separated from the rest of the pack, but the rest of the pack is just about the same in skill. They might have a better, one guy might have better stick handling than, or this other, Carl Hagelin may have more speed than the other guy, but they're pretty much all on the same level. Everybody is so damn good in this league. Yeah. So freaking good. And we're getting more players too from oddball countries. Yeah. Like Switzerland, in Austria. So the depth, hopefully, will get better if they don't overexpand like they always do. But that's another show for another time.
What's interesting? I was just thinking about this as you were saying that about players getting good. If you think about it, for a second round matchup, it does not get any bigger than this matchup for him. It was against the Pittsburgh, which is basically their chief rivals. Mm-hmm. It's against Sidney Crosby, who has been his chief competitor and comparable.
Whether he acknowledges it or not, that's the truth.
There is everything that you have to be putting into this series, and it just wasn't there. And he flies right to rush, catches the red eye, and he's playing in the Worlds the next day.
And look, he had to do that, but it's just to me. And he was born in a different country,
sure,
and with a different culture.
He values the gold medal more than
and that's it. And that's it. I mean, Jesus, guys. I mean, look at this picture. I'll show it to you. Look at this picture. I think it's from a couple years ago when they won the Worlds. Look at that. I guarantee. I mean, I'm not saying that Americans and Canadians wouldn't be excited to win that. Yeah. But I think they'd hold. He looks like Mark Messier. He looks like Bobby Clark. Yeah. In Philadelphia.
He takes pride in representing his country.
And I am. By the way, I don't want to. Like I said, Debbie said before, I'm going for the throat. I think you need every edge possible. Yes. And wanting that more than everything is an edge that you need, especially if you're a captain. It might not matter if you're Thomas Vanek.
Sure.
But it definitely matters if you're Alexander Ovechkin and captain of the Washington Capitals. And it certainly matters if you're a Washington Capitals fan that is repeatedly disappointed with one of the best, most electrifying players that has ever laced up skates. So
10 years, hasn't won anything. 10 years. Yeah. I don't think he's been to a conference final, has he?
No, I don't think he hasn't been to. Yeah, he hasn't been to a conference final. Yeah. If you would have said, nothing. Dave, I moved here 10 years ago. Actually, it'd be 11 next month. But I moved here 11 years ago, and that's when he came because that was after the lockout season. And if you would have told me in 2005 and 2006 that this kid will not be in an Eastern Conference final, I would have told you we're fucking nuts.
If you would have told me that he wouldn't have at least sniffed a ring by now. Let alone not win one.
Another thing is I didn't go for the juggler because I don't think he's a bad guy. I just think it's priorities. Now, and this is going to sound awful too. I don't think that applies as much to Finns and Canadians, Finns and Swedes. And I think it applies more to Czechs and Eastern Europeans.
Because you might fucking disappear if you disappoint your country there.
And Slovaks. But you know what? I also think this is going to change. Because you can get NHL TV pretty reasonably cheap, and we know guys in New Zealand that have NHL TV, so that may change over time, and it's okay to think the Stanley Cup's not the creme de la creme. I mean, if you look at it from a soccer perspective, you just won your league. Did you win the European Cup? Did you win the Champions League? I mean, that's the way. It's just a different way of looking at sports, and I think that factor, and the fact that he cannot lift himself. Which is probably more important. Alex Ovechkin will never lift the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
And that's the way I feel about that.
No, I think that's a very fair opinion to have at this point.
It's loose. Look, I understand that it's not scientific or anything. It's
no,
just,
after 10 years, it's complete. There is some scientific fucking thought to that. After 10 years.
Especially couldn't do it with this team.
Yeah.
Who steamrolled everybody.
You know,
up until
another
March.
thing too, and I hope I'm wrong, by the way, unless the Rangers come through. Sometimes you got to lose to win. The 1992 Rangers.
He's done that.
Yeah. Yeah, but he didn't lose to win with this particular team. This is a very different team than the one he's played with. So,
Best goalie he's ever played with.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Best coach he's ever had. Best supporting fucking cast he's ever had. And he still can't get it done.
Mark Messier got beat by the Pittsburgh Penguins in 1992. They won the President's Trophy. They didn't make the playoffs the next year. They fired the coach, and then they got Mike Keenan and won the Stanley Cup. So it's not over by any means. Somebody called me up and said, what do the Caps got to do? Win! That's it. Everything's set. Win. They got all the roles filled. That's it. Win. There's nothing more that you could do. What are you gonna do? All right, they could wait. They could get a time machine and fly to Edmonton and steal Wayne Gretzky and put him on the ice. I don't even know if that would work. To be perfectly honest with you.
Get Doc Brown. Where's the fucking DeLorean?
I don't know. Get the DeLorean. I mean, he can win with these guys. I think another thing is he just never should have got to see. All right, one thing I wanted to mark, and I uploaded it, and I didn't upload the Pittsburgh goal, even though I did record it last night. Jay Beagle's save must be remembered. Yeah. Jay Beagle's save must be remembered.
That wasn't too bad of a save there.
If it would have been a storyline, a permanent legendary storyline in Stanley Cup history. I see so many plays like this. Like I get yelled at when I upload clips. Although I'm not going to get yelled at in this one. I'm not going to get yelled at for this one because it's just so spectacular. I've uploaded clips like a Henrik Lundqvist when they've lost. Just based on that clip, I thought it was amazing. It just was like, yeah, and he lost. You know, I get a lot of that shit. You know, but I mean, how did he know? It was literally Jedi reflexes to take that out of the air. Holtby hung his head back at one point, thinking it went in. And why wouldn't he have thought it would have went in? Because it passed him and he knew it. He had a sense for it. Jay Beagle, it almost felt, I got to check the tape again, but it almost felt like Beagle dived in midair in front of the net. By the way, and he knocked it down with his stick before the puck was shot. How do you do that?
That's a guy who wanted to win right there.
Yeah, exactly. TJ Oshie, too. Big shout out to TJ Oshie. Don't hang your head. TJ Oshie was amazing.
Did he only sign a 1-year deal with Washington? Because if he did, his value just went up.
No, I think he still had a couple years left on his deal.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
He'd be fine.
Because he played like a madman.
He never gave up. Actually, he got them back in the game. And if Pittsburgh didn't comically have 3 delay of games in a row, which I've never seen in my life, I was like, whenever I get to the point where I was like, yeah, I've probably seen this shit before. Nope, not in hockey. Not in hockey. God, like in baseball, I have to watch something happen. Something has to happen every 10 years for me to see something new. Hockey, about every month. Well, that's why it's so great. It was really just outrageously amazing. Let's go with Blue Stars tonight. I'm going to start with Dave this time because I want Jeff to finish up. Where are you at? What do you tell me what you think and tell me what you're predicting.
Game 7, if there's ever a time where home ice matters, it matters in Game 7. It doesn't matter in hockey as much as it does in any other sport. There's no question about that. But Game 7, it certainly does matter. I like Dallas here, mainly because fuck Huffman.
That's brilliant scientific analysis.
Mainly. I'm going to go, I've been, for any other reason that I've been picking anything during this postseason, I've been wrong. So I might as well go with fucking pure spite.
That's like thinking that Alexander Ovechkin can't win the Stanley Cup because he was born in Russia.
There you go. There you go. But see, I'm a little conflicted because it's conflict. There's a conflict here. But I'm going to go with Dallas in a close one.
Any reason why?
All right.
Other than fuck me.
I bet you're too. All right, I'll give you one. You're too confident. That's why.
Well, the big reasons for me, I have not been impressed with St. Louis this entire fucking playoff run. Just haven't. I feel most of their wins, a good majority of them, have come off of mistakes by other teams. Other teams, both Dallas and Chicago, absolutely not playing to their potential, letting up, whatever you want to call it. I just don't think in this situation, the way things have gone, this is their 14th game, and they're 1-3 in closeouts. Not a good ratio. I'm going with Dallas.
Jeff?
Enough. Fair enough.
Well, why are you going to win tonight then? Come on, put your argument up.
Just because I feel this is a much
He
different
feels.
team.
I feel that Alexander Ovechkin will never
feel
win a
this is
Stanley
much
Cup because
different
he's
team.
Russian.
I think they've clearly been the better team, minus those first 5 minutes in the last game. I mean, we've seen what the Blues can do when they're clicking on all cylinders.
No, that's true.
Like Game 3 and even the last
They could beat the
55 minutes
Blackhawks,
of the
in
last
fairness.
game.
Yeah.
I mean, they've just been outright dominant. I think they can do that again. You got Elliott starting in Golden Knight, and I believe Steve Ott's going to make it back in the lineup tonight.
Is that a good thing?
Steve Ott? Yes. Jay
That means
Bouwmeester?
Reeves
No.
is probably going to have to sit, though. That means Ryan Reeves is going to have to sit then, right?
Yeah, well, Reeves sat the last 2 games because they had Yaskin in, and Hitchcock barely played the 4th line last game.
Yeah, probably not going to see too much.
You need to play the 4th line. You got to do it.
Well, I tell you what.
When they did that, when they rolled all 4 lines in Game 3, they dick slapped them.
Well, I tell you something. You know who else is playing all 4 lines? Pittsburgh Penguins. It actually took criticism from Mike Milbury. That means it's genius.
Oh, fuck Milbury.
They were on the right path.
Well, I mean, Milbury's logic is this.
Works. Rolling all 4 lines works. You can roll all 4 lines while at the same time getting your top guys on the ice more and performing effectively.
Jeff, the 4th line grinder, says so.
I've seen what it can do.
I agree with you, Jeff. I totally agree, and it works.
It's the only way I can get on the ice, Tommy. Fuck you.
It's working for.
We only ran 2 full lines. We ran 2 fucking lines, and everybody was dead in the 3rd period.
It's not exactly unheard of. Usually, teams that run 4 lines are trapping teams and teams that don't have a lot of skill, and we can't really say that about the Blues. But in fairness to you, let's not undersell the greatness of this Sullivan character that took over for the Pittsburgh Penguins. I mean, you don't see Crosby really breaking sticks and throwing a fit. I really wonder if he's actually taken a hold of the cow by the tit and gotten Crosby in line over there. Crosby took a questionable hit yesterday. He didn't get up and look at the referee. Though that team is playing spectacular defense. It's surgical. Perfect boxes every time the Caps came in the zone. Could not really.
I don't know what it has to do with St. Louis and Dallas, but yeah.
No, my point is he's running 4 lines, and he's in charge. If you run 2 lines, you're relying on the Steens, you're relying on the Backuses, right? This way, it gives them a bit of a break, and that's what Sullivan's doing in Pittsburgh, and it's been successful.
A little bit, just a little bit.
That's not exactly on and off. That's what Hitchcock's been doing. And by the way, I have some big criticism of Hitchcock. I don't know. I don't like a team that doesn't forecheck, and sometimes the Blues don't come out and forecheck, and it's not because they're lazy. It's because they're obviously on orders to do so. That's how I see it. All right, what else we got?
Here's something a little interesting.
What do you got?
Jamie Benn did not practice in the morning skate today. Lindy Ruff said it was optional, and Ben exercised that option just to simply not practice. Is that a rest? And I don't know if this is normal practice in NHL for something like that to happen, but you would think in a Game 7, you want to get out there, right? I don't understand that.
It's Jamie Benn. I'm not fucking. I wouldn't be worried about it.
Yeah. But see, if Jamie Benn was missing a bunch of practices, which we don't know before that, or something like that, which I've never heard of, I'd be a little concerned. But I think Coach says, that I think that basically is a wink, wink. Stars can take off, and maybe there's some. Not heavy injuries, but maybe injuries you take a game off in the regular season that you wouldn't take off in the playoffs, and he's got to work through them. And
speaking of injuries, Sagan is out.
Sagan is out.
Oh, I was just looking for that. It looks like Sagan is out, yeah.
Oh, speaking of.
No Willis Reed tonight.
I really wonder. You got to wonder if Sagan was. I mean, that's what the Stars fans are going to say if you beat them tonight. Well, Sagan wasn't in. That's all I heard.
And you know what? There's an
argument you could make, but you know what? Sagan wasn't in. You should have took better care of him, I guess. Your doctors suck. Yeah. They're part of the team too. That's what I'd say. Yeah, your doctors suck then. Oh, anything else? I do. I know I went a little off track before, but I do think I think Jeff's right. Running the 4 lines thing. I think.
Oh, I think so too.
I think. Look, it depends.
They're a physical team.
Late in the 3rd, you're running 2 lines. Late in the 3rd, you're running 2 lines. But yeah, to stretch it out a little bit, sure. That being said, I think the Blues are going to lose.
You do that, and also you got 15 commercials a period. Jesus.
I look. Yeah. I'm going to disappoint you. I said Caps in 6, or I said Pens in 6. Dead on. I said they get punched in the mouth because they're playing Philadelphia like shit. You guys are going to lose tonight. It's going to be too much psychologically for you to overcome in a foreign building. And not only that, it's going to be epic. It's going to be memorable. It's going to be of Bill Buckner gravity tonight. That's my prediction.
Why do you keep going back to Bill Buckner?
Because it's
nothing.
I don't. Because nothing makes me happier than a Boston Red Sox.
If anybody pulled a Bill Buckner, it was Steve.
Because you're looking at it literally, not figuratively. I'm talking about it figuratively. You're looking at literal. Yeah, Bill Buckner rolled through his leg. Yeah, it loads with Steve Mason's leg. That's literal. I'm above that. I'm making it figurative. I mean, it's subliminal. You got to think about it, Jeff.
Like someone's going to be the scapegoat? I mean...
Yeah, kind of. I'm sorry.
But Buckner wasn't a scapegoat.
They lose by 1 goal. I got news for you. I hope it's not Elliott, because Elliott's going to get it. At least he'd get it if he was in New York.
He's starting. Obviously, they're not blaming him for shit.
Yeah, well, say. But when you look back at the series, and if nobody else brings it up, you'd be damn sure I will. I'm sure. By the way, I am rooting for the Blues tonight. And yes, I am doing a broadcast. It's already loaded. And boy, I shouldn't.
I'll be at work, so.
718-395-7660, 718-395. Numbers in the below. I'll take your calls right now. What's the matter with you? You ready to go?
He's having another fucking bout of Tourette's. It's okay.
Yeah, but see, last year he was nervous going in. This year he's confident.
They went out and shot themselves in the face.
You see, I hate that when you say that, because it's like, it's not their fault they lost. It's
right.
That pretty much implies that it was their fault. They went out and shot themselves in the face.
You're not much better. It's your excuse too.
Yeah, but I mean, mine has validity.
Because what? Dead on Dave said it.
I mean, look at the penalties, man.
Ovechkin will never win a Stanley Cup because he's Russian. Come on, why can't I put these guys on?
Blame Putin.
Blame Putin. I'm trying to put Martin on. I don't know why he won't click. All right, we'll try him in a minute.
Ovechkin's just afraid he's going to get fed to that fucking tiger. That's why he rushed home.
All right, Sousa Face, what do you got?
I just wanted to shift this and talk about Pittsburgh and the Lightning, the next series.
All right, yeah, go ahead. Oh, yeah, okay, go ahead. No, what do you think about the next series?
Well, we all know how Pittsburgh is on fire, and the favorites are them to win this series.
Yeah, possibly the
But
Cubs.
we can't forget the last time they were put in this position.
Yes, Boston, and I believe me, I've thought about it.
Everyone was saying, oh, Pittsburgh's going to make it to the final. They're going to have a run for the cup. And then they come in against Boston, and they get swept.
And Sidney
and
Crosby.
No one saw that.
Because Sidney Crosby picked a fight with Frankenstein. I swear to God, I know all the hockey hipsters and the analytics guys would disagree with me. That's when that series went south. I'd never forget when he's mouthing off to, and he it looked like a 7-year-old going up to some professional wrestler in WWE and say, "Hey, you suck." That's what it looked like to me,
Well, yeah, when you see your captain get bitch slapped by a genetic monster, yeah, it kind of takes you out of the game.
It's one of my favorite hockey moments. It's one of my favorite sports moments. Actually, you know what my favorite sports moment of all time? And it has nothing to do with the 4 major American sports. It was actually in soccer when Michael Ballack was born the same day I was, by the way. Now that you know. Well, he was the captain of the German national team, and he went over to yell or kind of discipline Podolski, who is technically German, but he was really born in Poland, and he's kind of a street guy. Ballack went over there and started giving him shit, and Podolski slapped him right in his bitch-ass face. Pretty boy. That's my favorite sports moment of all time.
Oh, boy.
Michael Ballack. All right, Susan, good call.
Wait, I didn't get to
yeah, that's the problem with you. Go ahead.
You don't get to say wait.
Go ahead. Now get to the next series.
Yeah, I'll make this quick then.
Yes.
Tampa Bay is also playing really good, especially without Stamkos. I'm saying, I have to see game 1. Right now, I still think Pittsburgh, but if Pittsburgh starts to, shake like they did in the Bruins series 2 years ago.
Which they might not.
Wait, after all of that, you're not even picking fucking Tampa? You bring up the point after all that, you're not even going to pick Tampa?
Dave, calm down.
You have to get to the point quickly.
I said...
After all of that, not even going to pick Tampa.
Go.
Tampa Bay,
no balls.
Pittsburgh
You don't even believe in your own argument.
How can we take you
don't even
seriously?
believe in your own
How can we
argument.
take you seriously, Sosa?
Calm down.
No, but you have a terrible problem. You're like a lot of kids. You know what? Because I got yelled at when I was a kid, and
Yes.
you didn't
It's not
get
my
yelled
fault.
at.
I
My
didn't decide to
father,
drop
and Dave's met
myself
my
on the
father, tells you to get to the point. He will tell you to get to the point. He will drift. Like if he's not your son, if you're not his son, he will just drift. He will just drift. You're not getting to the point. You have
Yeah, call into my show sometime, so you'll get the full.
do it. Just all right.
Fucker.
Get to the point.
I think Tampa Bay has a really good shot at this series. There.
Oh, okay. I think Tampa Bay can beat Pittsburgh. I think it's the toughest series that I've had to pick in years. I think both these teams are rolling. Unless we see a Pittsburgh collapse, which I don't predict, they're playing too well. And the things there was signed. Look, Pittsburgh acts up and does the meltdown thing when they get resistance, and that's what happened in the Boston series. We've seen resistance in this series. They don't react negatively to it.
Yeah.
They don't. They lose games in overtime. They get up in the next game. So I really don't see that. I think we have the potential of a hockey classic in the next round. But the downside of it is it's Tampa Bay, and they're not a popular franchise.
Based off the way things are going right now, too,
Christ.
this could be the finals.
I've been on the phone for him for 5 minutes.
Might
I gotta
be
go.
the
I got
NHL
callers.
fucking finals.
I got people calling me. I gotta go. Thanks for the call, Kevin. I can't just. You gotta talk faster. Martin, I don't know what the fuck's wrong with his phone. Did I pay my Skype bill? God, I hope so. Well, it wouldn't be ringing if I didn't.
It wouldn't matter. Yeah, you're good.
I'm still taking calls. All right.
Yeah.
I don't think it's Martin's fault. Actually, that's a little bizarre. What the fuck, man? Fick die Henna. Fucking scheisse. Did I pay my? Of course I paid. It's on automatic payments.
And
I would have got an overdraw.
you should be able to. I don't pay for Skype, and I'm able to take calls.
What do you mean? You have a phone number, right?
Yeah, I have a phone. Oh, I do have a phone number.
I have a phone number.
I forgot I had a phone number.
Yeah, a phone number. Of course you pay for it. I'm the one that talked you into it.
Yeah, I know.
Try one more time. I don't know what the hell's going wrong, gentlemen. I apologize. Give it one more shot. I've never had problems with the phone before. I've had problems with people in Skype. Boy,
use your Skypes, kids. If you have a Skype, use the Skype if you're able to.
Kevin Sousa really needs to learn to get to the damn point.
Oh my God. I'm nice to him here.
I bet he drives his teachers crazy with run-on sentences.
Oh yeah.
I bet he does.
Yeah, I don't know if I could sit through a Sousa presentation.
Can you imagine that fucking book report? Oh my God.
Yeah.
And A Tale of Two Cities. Oh fuck.
Wait a minute. Let me get to this part. Wait.
Once there was a good.
Now I'm not getting any calls.
girl.
This kind of blows, man. Calm down, everybody. You calm down.
You calm down.
Boy. I don't know what the fuck. It's just. Here's what I'm gonna do. Because I really promise these guys calls, and I hate fucking not living up. I'm actually gonna close Skype, reopen Skype Live, and I'm gonna call you guys back and I'll let them take calls because I think this is fucked up. All right, guys.
Whatever.
Yeah, that's what I want. I'm gonna actually hang up on them. I'm gonna close Skype and reopen Skype. Quit, and then I'm gonna reopen it now because I'm just that kind of guy, and because I do want to take your calls and I do appreciate them. So don't think for a moment that I don't. My computer just did an update recently. Oh, now Skype won't open at all. Oh, wouldn't that be a wonderful way to end it? Oh, here it comes. Here it comes. Here she comes. Here she comes. They dropped the frame. That means the computer's working. There's the thing. Let me call the boys back. All right. This is how we do it. That's, who called first? Okay, Dave called first. All right. That's Dave. I'll call him first. Let's see how this works. Make sure he gets on there.
I
Dave,
am
there?
back.
Dave is there. Okay, let's put on our my steroid boyfriend. Let's do that. There he comes. Wonderful boy.
Not steroids.
I'm not steroids. I work really hard to get this body.
Fuck you.
All right, I'm taking your calls. We'll try it one more time. Susie, if you call back, I'm flying to Massachusetts and setting her house on fire.
Yes.
I am.
If you're going to make a point, might as well be with arson.
I'm doing this guy for you because normally I just end the show.
While we're waiting for calls, Blackhawks agreed to a 3-year deal with Gustav Forsling.
Woo! Here's Martin. There we go. That was some kind of... Skype is funny. Martin, you're on the air, buddy.
What's up? I'm really excited for tonight. I'm so super excited for the Dallas Stars game.
What do you think is going to happen, bud?
I think it's going to be a very close game if Dallas plays some fucking defense for once and try scoring on those power plays.
I don't think this is
well, lately they have. All the other games have been looking like ass, but hopefully they can get their shit together tonight because I expect a close game. No blowouts tonight.
Last 3 Game 7s between the Blues and Stars have gone to overtime, so...
I predict whoever loses will lose by at least 2 goals, possibly 3.
Ooh.
I think there'd be some kind of a mental breakdown, and I'm seeing it with the Blues. I'm seeing, you know, like when you have like the last 7 minutes and the team's up by 3 goals and like they're just kind of skating around, running around the clock. I see that scenario.
And it's going to be Baumeister's fault.
It's going to be a breakdown. It could be something similar to what Pittsburgh did. 3 goddamn penalties in a row. Three delayed game penalties.
You know
in
what,
a row.
Dave? I would correct
that. I think, you know, what you're basically saying is the Blues don't have an identity. Yeah, we are down. We've had this problem before.
Yeah.
We should be back up though. Yeah,
I love that you just went all analytical and nobody will hear it.
Yeah, it's too bad. You made like one of the better calls that we've had in a while. I'll be honest.
Fucking lost in the ether now.
Yeah, it's lost in the ether. But no, I think what you're saying is the Blues don't really have an identity, and that kind of made me think. Well, what are the Blues? Are they a fast skating team? Are they a hard checking team? What are the Blues, Jeff?
I'd say a little bit. They can be a little bit of everything. I still lean more towards that heavy grinding, playing the body type of team.
That's when they seem to be the most successful.
Yeah, that does. So
I think that tonight it really hinges upon a lot of things happening, and one, Tarasenko's got to back check and stop cherry picking. And
I'd like to see a little more of that. Yeah, I'd like to see him play the body.
I think if I had to guess, because that. If I had to guess, because that goal
and Bouwmeester, look, Bouwmeester has been like not playing really well, and all season long, when they have space, they look like the best first, pair in the league. But when there's a forecheck that gets on them heavy, they're both like the same ilk, stick checking, not physical. And then Pietrangelo is going to play like 31 minutes, and he's been wearing his ass off. So he needs a guy to come in and thump the other guy, and then use his talent to outlet pass and move the puck up ice. And when him and Bouwmeester aren't having their best game and don't have space, then they get hemmed in. Then all of a sudden we're looking at a situation where if the forwards don't back check and our first line isn't, working, and then Hitchcock is notorious for putting his top guys out late in the third period, especially on the PK when they're gassed, instead of using the fourth line and guys that are just have our legs underneath them, and then that's how you lose games. And everybody sort of like doesn't want to say no, I'm too tired to go out there or whatever, but we need to keep the puck out of the zone. And
so you agree with Jeff that they should go with 4 lines and save these guys to the end,
right? But I think that if you go with Yashkin, then you have some offensive upside and a guy that's tenacious.
But 3 on 4,
he's
not as great on defense, and he's not going to win faceoffs. But you have to just go out there like aggressive and to score.
Mm-hmm.
The Blues.
I don't know if you could do that with a team like Dallas. You have to be a little bit more controlled with a team like Dallas. They're a fast team. That's what they thrive on. You make mistakes when you got to be a little more controlled.
Coaches have made good adjustments. Like when you look at Dallas,
you don't have a coach for that.
I don't know if you have a coach for that, and I think that's what you're kind of subliminally complaining about. Is they're not a very well coached team. That's my opinion. I mean, you mentioned, you started this off with that they don't have an identity and that they're not doing this and they do this sometimes and not that sometimes. And I've seen it myself. I've obviously watched more Blues hockey in the last 2 weeks than I have in the last. I probably only watched 4 or 5 Blues games all year. But I just. And we also had that sort of drought they had last year where they just weren't responding to the coach. I think you got a guy in the locker room that, I don't know, maybe he doesn't have the best ideas for the team. And maybe I don't know. He's kind of overlived his usefulness over there. I think
Hitchcock has a bad case of vertigo.
Yeah. Thanks for the call, 314. I hope you call back, buddy. Pittsburgh boy, you're on the air. It's got to be a happy man. Sandy Crosby, Chris Letang, and Trevor Daly, who's great, on their way to the Eastern Conference Final. Congratulations, buddy.
Yeah, thank you. I got to give mad respect to the Capitals, man. They put up a hell of a fight this series.
Yeah, they played well. I think they should have beat you, but
especially Jay Beagle in last night's game.
I don't know. You guys. There's really nothing to say, Pittsburgh boy. You're the better team, and you played great. And the Caps, especially, I got to be honest with you. Like, it doesn't feel really good for me. It's just because Ovechkin really wasn't that effective. And I just, you got to wonder what it's like. I mean, it's like Jeff said before, he was trying to take it to the hole, but it's just nothing worked. He was drunk. I thought he was hurt. And if they would have came out and said, you're going to hear, I said it last night in the stream, I said, you're going to hear Alex Ovechkin's hurt tomorrow. And then he flies to Russia.
I go to Russia. I take a red eye.
All right, which that's fine, I guess.
What is this hurt?
So how do you feel about
Tampa?
Pittsburgh boy.
They kind of worry me, because the Pens, when they get that game, like that third win in the series, they kind of lead up a little bit, and they can't pull that type of shit against Tampa Bay.
No, you're not. I think you end up gonna. You know what I could see? I could easily see a situation where you guys both split your home series, and getting decided or 6-7 really easy. I think that's really what you're looking at. This is a damn good team that has a lot of recent experience, and you guys have. I'm starting to wonder if you're playing better than you did in 2008. I wonder if this is a better team sometimes.
This is some of the best hockey I've ever seen out of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, really.
At least in this era.
Yeah. It's really great. Fantastic.
In the Crosby era.
I do hope you lose, though. I hope you call in and say, I really have this pretend the fantasy that you call in and say, that's fucked up. The ref, they always call against us. And I'm just going to laugh and laugh and laugh. That's what I'm going to do, Pittsburgh boy. I'm going to laugh at you. But maybe I won't. Maybe I'll have to suck it up. Oh, I think the fucking stream went out again. That was funny. I didn't stop streaming shit. God damn. Well, we're having YouTube issues today. We're having real YouTube issues today. It sucks. All right, Pittsburgh boy. I think that's cue for me to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I got to go to work, so yeah.
Good luck. Oh, okay. All right. Do you have time for headlines? Thanks, Pittsburgh boy. For the
yeah.
All right, let's get the fuck out of here. Headlines. National Hockey League. Jenny Scrivens retires, opting for family over dream job, by Jen Neal of Puck Daddy. Hey, do you know who Jenny Scrivens is?
Nope.
Neither do fucking I.
Nope.
Andrus Johnson of the Toronto Maple Leafs, prospect injured after a big hit in the HL playoffs. Good luck, Leafs. Andreas Johnson. Go check that hit out. Guy got laid the fuck out on an interference, clear one. And immediately, an enforcer came and beat his ass, which was nice. It looked like old hockey to me.
Instant justice.
But it's kind of spooky because Johnson was straight out on his rear, like not moving. It's good when at least when they do the Paul Kariya, you feel a little better. You know what I mean? You know what the Paul Kariya is, Jeff? When he lets that breath out and it hits his visor. Oh God, that was the scariest shit I've ever seen.
Yeah.
The Paul Kariya. Hope he has that. Isles Travis Harmonic to stay in the island. Well, not the island, in Brooklyn.
Rescind his trade.
Rescind his trade request.
Never mind. I don't want to be traded.
Fuck it. I take it back. I love this team. PK Subban and Snoop Dogg will go head-to-head in a charity basketball game in June from the Montreal Gazette.
There you go.
My money's on PK.
I'll take Snoop.
Really?
Yeah, I'll take Snoop. He's got that height. He's got the height.
If they played that, if they stream that, we should do a reaction party at your house.
That would be fun.
Snoop Dogg and PK. Oh, maybe we gotta look at. I just put this in there because it was funny.
This is some serious shit now.
All right, let's stay up together. We gotta watch that celebrity basketball.
A hockey player and a fucking rapper. I mean, come on.
Don't get much better than that. Last night in the National Hockey League, the disappointed Washington Capitals lose to the Pittsburgh Penguins in overtime. Nick Isis Beard Bonino with the overtime winner. Good series. Disappointing for Washington. Pittsburgh moves on. Hopefully more great hockey is in store for us. It's been a very good playoff, unlike the season.
Yeah.
And I just wouldn't it be awful if we, because I've said it before, I'm not crazy about this season. This is the season I liked covering the least. Not that I didn't have fun this year.
What is with everybody in the theme setting houses on fire?
I don't know. You live in St. Louis.
There you go.
Stop shooting black people for no reason, and you won't.
Yeah, exactly. Come on.
I don't recall doing that. But
No.
okay.
Stop it.
Just saying.
I'm just talking about you white
You are
people.
the problem. You look like Ben Affleck. You're white. You're the problem.
Yeah, the problem. Check
The
your
only
privilege.
difference is I'm not rich.
Check you. You're still privileged. You're still privileged. You can do it. You're a white man. You can do whatever you want.
Exactly.
White man. So just knock it off, you hockey
Knock it
loving
off.
cracker.
Jesus.
You hockey loving cracker. Snow. That's
Go work at Buffalo Wild Wings, honky.
St. Louis Blues, they're in Dallas for another epic Game 7. Series tied 3-3, of course. Of course it is, because it's Game 7. That's why it's tied 3.
Yes.
I make myself laugh that on days.
Scientific.
Yeah, like when I say Alexander Ovechkin can't win a cup because he's Russian. Which is not what I said, but that's how it's going to be. That's why I keep saying that over and over and making a gag out of it. Because I know, you said Alex could. No, that's not what I said.
That's the part I'm going to clip and put up on the internet and frame you.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But I will say this. I think it applies a little more to Alex. I know my parents were a big influence on me, and I imagine his parents are a pretty big influence on them, and they were, like, world-class athletes. You know?
During a different era.
I mean, like, I don't know, Jeff. Like, did your dad talk to you about, like, the old St. Louis Cardinals teams, like an Ozzie Smith and stuff? That, you know, guys that you didn't really necessarily get to see?
Mom.
No, your dad doesn't do that stuff.
He does. I mean, my mom was way more into the sports.
No, your mom. Did your dad? I guess his role was to get the belt and tie it together and then snap it like, knock it off, Jeff.
Maybe when I was like 8.
Knock it out, Jeff. You think I won't do this? You can call the police if you want. They ain't coming.
Where are your brains, boy?
That's what my father used to do. He used to take a belt and then he would wrap it up and then he would lick it and he would snap it. And it scared the shit out of me. Yeah, I only got hit with a belt once. It was actually by my mother. And my father never hit me.
Yeah, Dave was already getting the Schwartz treatment from A Christmas Story.
It's done. I was getting phone books. I was fucking dodging phone books.
What?
It's like, what?
If you can dodge a phone book, you can dodge a ball.
No, we heard it from your son. What? What? Dad, what'd I do, Mom? What'd I do? Greatest movie ever. Absolutely. Get out of my crease, bitches. Have fun tonight, Game 7.
Dodge a ball.
No, we heard it from your son. What? What? Dad, what'd I do, Mom? What'd I do? Greatest movie ever.